Hey, this is John, and as the Brain-A-Thon is approaching, I want to share with you a very personal story of mine on how I really got involved in understanding more about the brain and the real power when you unlock and unleash its greatness. When I was in my early 20s, I was working really hard to try and become financially free and to live a successful life. And most of that was due to my father being a cab driver and my mother working a local department store and not really having enough money at the end of every month. And money was something that my family fought about a lot, or shall I say my parents fought about a lot. And I, as a kid, hated that feeling of hearing them scream at each other as to why there wasn't enough money all the time. Well, as a result of, I guess, my negative experiences or unpleasant experiences, I worked from the age of 13, whether it was, paper route, working at the local drugstore, working at a local department store, working as a presser at a dry cleaning company, working at a grocery store, just so I can make some money to have in my pocket so I would feel like I had some worthiness to me. Now, I know that money doesn't equal worthiness, but that was my reality when I was a kid. When I got into my early 20s, I ended up with something called severe ulcerative colitis as a result of working so hard, 15, 16, 17, 18-hour days, going out at night and partying, not eating well, not exercising. I created so much stress in my body that I ended up with ulcers in my colon. Now, in and of itself, ulcers may not be that bad, but when they're in your colon, you don't have any bowel control. So as you can imagine, just about everywhere I went, I had to be careful that I didn't poop in my pants, which happened on many occasions, sometimes with clients, sometimes in bed being intimate romantically, sometimes when I was in the car driving, and I was in my early 20s on 25 silazepam pills a day, 5 pills every 3 hours. I was going to the hospital every single month to check my colon, if you know what I mean, which wasn't very comfortable. And that led me to thinking, what was I going to do to get rid of this ulcerative colitis? Because it was ruining my life. It was ruining my romantic life. It was ruining my business life. I was stressed out. I wasn't able to eat properly. I weighed 180 pounds, which is about 20 pounds less than I weigh right now with no muscle on me. And the reason I share this with you is because I came up with something that really transformed my life, and it was something called psychoneuroimmunology. And I didn't come up with it as much as I discovered that word, psychoneuroimmunology. And that simply means that there is a mind and body connection. And when I learned that my colitis, my ulcerative colitis, was an effect of what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and the stress that I was putting on my body, I moved quickly towards changing my brain and my body from being in a state of dis-ease to being in a state of at ease. I changed my thoughts around my health, and I stopped focusing on the disease. I stopped focusing on being unhealthy. I stopped focusing on all of the stories and the excuses and the reasons why I was going to have to live with ulcerative colitis. And when I started focusing on health and well-being and what I wanted, 5 weeks after I started to really take control of my brain and change my story, change my identity, change my stress, I was able to stop taking 25 pills a day. I was able to tell my doctor, his name was Dr. Wu, that I no longer was going to come and see him. And he said to me, I want you to keep taking your pills. I want you to keep coming in for monthly colonoscopies. And I said to him, no, Dr. Wu, I figured out what was causing my disease, and you're still trying to treat my symptoms. Now, why am I sharing this story with you? Well, I'm sharing this story with you because not only did I release and let go of my ulcerative colitis and became super healthy, but I was then able to use the exact same knowledge on how powerful my brain was and how focusing on what I wanted versus what I didn't want, focusing on new beliefs, new habits, new sense of clarity, and new sense of purpose for what I wanted to achieve versus what I didn't want to achieve, helped me build companies, helped me find the relationship of my dreams, and more importantly, helped me realize that when I took control of my brain, my powerful brain, and got it to laser focus on what it is that I wanted, I could deliberately and consciously choose the results that I wanted in my life and then get my body to move into action towards achieving those goals and dreams. And so on the Brain-A-Thon, you're going to learn the most advanced tools and techniques based in the latest brain research to help you get rid of your stories, get rid of your excuses, get rid of your past that may be holding you back, and maybe the traumas and the pains and maybe the failures you've had, and really get you to focus on making the changes from the inside out so that you can shatter your financial glass ceiling and any other ceiling that is holding you back from living the most amazing, abundant, fulfilled life. So I look forward to training you and teaching you and introducing you to people just like you who are really taking control of their lives and achieving their goals and dreams versus just hoping, wishing, and dreaming that it would become a reality. So make sure that you mark your calendar for the day of the Brain-A-Thon, and we'll invest 6 hours retraining your brain so that you can have the ultimate life and freedom.